Okay, Anna. I don't know if you want to hear this or not, but we do predictions on our website, Gold Derby. And last week you were actually the favorite to win the season. All of the people who made the predictions thought you were going to take it home.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
what do you think was your biggest downfall that didn't happen? Was it the tribe swap?
Yeah, I mean, I felt super lucky that there were a lot of fans that reached out to me, and there were a lot of like past contestants that competed in Survivor that either picked me as a winner pick, and I feel like I disappointed them, and I feel horrible. And unfortunately, there is luck involved in Survivor, and I unfortunately lost the numbers when it came to a tribe swap, but it was a little bit more than just a tribe swap. I mean, there was an extra element of, I was on a new tribe where there was 3 brain, 2 beauty, 1 brawn. And I am in a bad spot. But the extra twist where, someone that got off the island, which was Julia, would return to the game after someone gets voted out, really, in my opinion, did me in. Where it was originally, me and Ty, where it was kind of 50-50 in terms of they're going to keep the brain numbers together. Scott's a swing vote. It was really me or Ty if we lost immunity. And then you add the extra element of Julia coming in to replace us. The ball's kind of in my court in terms of, the weight is on my shoulders. People would be gunning for me the most, more than Ty. And I was in a really bad spot. And, going from almost the leader of your tribe, pretty much kind of leading the tribe with the numbers with the girls and being on top of that tribe to 24 hours later being on the complete bottom, and then having Julia come in and take someone's spot. It was just complete twist of fate, and really not much I could have done. I played my butt off, but there's really not much I could have done.
Right. I think you hit it on the head. And you did what you were supposed to do, which was throw Ty under the bus because you knew a beauty would go home. Right. So you did what you could, and then out comes Ty's idol. When you saw that idol, that changed everything, didn't it?
Right. So Ty showed me the idol about half an hour before Tribal, where I was certain I was going home. I had such a horrible gut feeling, and everyone's reassuring me everything's okay, but I just knew it. My heart sank. There was nothing I could have done. I mean, I was still fighting, but it's in terms of like still trying to, throw Ty under the bus and trying to expose him as being sneaky. And I told him I called him working for an idol, and I said that he probably has it. I try to make them not trust him more than me, even though there was going to be a girl coming in and they're afraid of this girls alliance. I had to make sure they didn't trust him even more than they did me. Unfortunately, so I needed Ty. I needed the idol really bad to really save my butt. And so Ty wasn't sure if it was him or I for a long time, and him and I knew that it was me. And, I knew. I'm pretty sure he knew too. But so when he showed me the idol half an hour before Tribal, I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. We're getting to blindside Peter. Ty's going to take the game by the horns. We're going to have the numbers when Julia comes in, and we can align with Scott, because Scott and I seemed like we were having a good relationship that was forming. And in terms of I can, if I would have stayed along, he was playing the game, let's put it that way. I could have potentially worked with him. Meeting up with Jason and Sydney and Michelle, it would have been great to take the game by the horns and just really have the beauty tribe really go through. I think that, I saw it on TV last night with everyone else that Scott pretty much last minute before Tribal told Ty, don't do it. Stay the idol. Yeah. And that really did me in because, with my reads that I had on Ty, he was going to use it. He was really going to use it. And that's why, I wasn't 100% sure he was going to use it, but I was pretty confident he was. My reads were pretty dead on with most of the game. And, he was going to use it. And, in my opinion, and you have to ask him that too. But it seemed like, and speaking to him a little bit later in the game, he was going to do it until Scott said something. So, Scott made a good move. Where,
right. That's kind of where this luck thing comes in that you mentioned earlier. Like, it's just so lucky for Scott that his buddy, I think Jason, found that idol, the previous day. So all of a sudden, Scott knows where 2 idols are. Some things you have no influence over. Let's pretend that there was no tribe swap, that you had the 3 beauties. How far do you guys think you could have made it in this game together?
You know, when we lost Caleb, we have the numbers, and we were pretty certain. I mean, we trusted each other, which is crazy to say in Survivor, but these two girls are awesome, loyal girls, and good girls, sweethearts, and stuff like that. So, sorry. And so we were pretty confident. You know, you can't ever get overconfident and arrogant in Game of Survivor because things just switch up quick, and you never know if someone gets hurt or whatnot. We were pretty confident that we were going to glide through the merge. If there was no swap, we were talking about out there, like, wow, if there's no swap, we can just glide through. I mean,
right.
I want to Nick out first and then tie. And so, yeah, it would have been
And
awesome.
you guys were strong. I mean, you were billed as the beauty tribe, but you won challenge after challenge after challenge. You never went to tribal before last night.
We never went to I know, and we were the only ones that made fire out there, you know. Brain and run and do it. We made fire with nothing, you know, with bamboo and stuff. So we were strong. I was lucky enough to have play this game with such an awesome tribe. Such an awesome tribe. I think that I'm one of the luckiest to have played with them because, you know, yes, it's a dysfunctional family. Yes, Nick and I were going against each other. You know, yes, Ty was caught with an idol and it was very dysfunctional, but we really had fun together. We played charades at night. You know, we had a great time and made the experience so much better and amazing. You know, looking at the Braun tribe like on TV, you're like, oh my God, that's so dysfunctional. We were dysfunctional, but we were pretty close and we were pretty strong and we worked well together. You know, in challenges, in puzzles, we knew each other's, you know, weaknesses and strengths, and we worked well together. I mean, I feel like even if you know, not losing Caleb, we would have just kept crushing it. You know, we were almost unstoppable. You know, losing Caleb was a crazy twist of fate, and it was horrible to watch him go. But even losing him, we won the next community challenge. We were pretty in sync. We were doing really well. You know, it was almost unstoppable for a while. So maybe we wouldn't even have the opportunity to get rid of Nick and Ty. So maybe we could have even went farther. But, you know, all these what ifs, who knows? But we definitely felt comfortable. The girls and I felt comfortable.
Yeah, it looks pretty strong from our, you know, the TV perspective.
Yeah, 100%.
Can you take us through what it was like watching Caleb being evacuated, all the emotions that were going on?
Ooh, oh man, that was the hardest part of the game. You know, as soon as Caleb got the last shot in, Julie and I had our canteen water bottles ready to run up to the guys. I ran up to Nick right away, and I see in the corner of my eye Caleb just fall flat down. And I ripped the canteen out of Nick, and I ran to Caleb. And, you know, it was his eyes were rolling back, and you're nervous. And I'm happy Jeff came over right away. Everyone took care of him right away. I mean, it was serious. I think in that moment we all realized, okay, the elements here are real. It is real. You know, there are no water breaks. We're giving it our all. It was a little hot. It was really, really hot that day. Unfortunately for that challenge, you know, it's not CBS's fault that happened. You know, it was just happened to be a really, really hot day on the challenge where we're digging in the sand because normally there's a breeze. It's nice. It's hot in the sun, but you try to stay in the shade. But that day was extra hot. And, you know, CBS is honest with us not having water breaks. You know, we fight and we give it our all. And unfortunately, Caleb is a big guy. He needs water and all that kind of stuff. And not only that, though, he gives it 140%. So knowing how much of a fighter he is and how hot it was, you could kind of take it down a notch. And maybe, you know, I was really close to saying, guys, don't worry about salt and pepper. I do not care about spices. I can live without spices for the next 30 days. It was like, 20-something days? I said, Julie and I were really close to saying it. I never thought I would ever say that in Survivor. I never thought that I would give up a challenge, ever. But in that moment, you're thinking, okay, this is reward. It's salt and pepper. I can live. I mean, our food is bland. That's okay. That's no problem. I can deal with the blandness for another month. His life, not even his life at that moment, his immunity, the whole tribe feeling good for the next immunity challenge, which we don't know if it's tomorrow or the day after. We don't know. We were really close to saying to stop, but then they found the bag and they kept going, and we were stuck on that last little ball for quite some time. You saw the Braun caught up. I mean, it just wasn't going in, and that exerted even more and more and more energy. And so seeing him go down was really hard to watch. And the first thing, you're hoping he's okay. And then obviously when Jeff said, helicopter, it's coming in, we knew that it was more serious than we originally saw. His legs going up and oxygen mask. So we were just worried for him, and we were happy to know when Jeff told us the next challenge that he was okay. So thank God.
Oh, good. I was
yeah,
wondering if you guys ever got like an update or anything.
Yeah, they don't tell us too much, but Jeff told us he's fine. He's totally fine. So that's what we wanted to know. We didn't know he was details, obviously, but we were really happy to know he was okay because we were worried about him, So we were happy to know he was okay. But then once he was okay, I was thinking, okay, well now going back to the game, like this affects the game. We lose a number. You don't know. Like I don't know if we had a swap, if having Caleb mathematically would be beneficial to us. We would have more numbers, and if we did have a swap, it would have been 7-7, and we would have probably had the numbers. But you can't really say that really because, I could have been unlucky to draw a buff the way that I did. So could have happened again. So yeah, it was hard to watch him go down for sure. He's an animal. He's a monster. Definitely beast mode cowboy. Definitely.
And a final question here. You're a student of this game. There are 12 people left in the game. Who would you vote for if you were in that jury? You want to win the $1 million?
Who would I want to win the $1 million? Okay, so honestly, it would depend on who plays the best game for me. So I would have to be watching it, and if someone stuck out and played the best game, I would vote for that person. And if one of my girls was there, Michelle or Julia, I would vote for one of them 100%. I mean, they're smart girls. They're working their butts off. I mean, they gave it their all, watching from the side even. I mean, I love them, and I would vote for them in the end. I mean, if game were different, if I was in later and they voted me out, I would vote for someone who played the best strategical game. Because I don't care if you're a billionaire, if you're a millionaire, if you play the game well and you're a stand-up person at the end of the day playing such a crazy game, I would vote for that person. So it would really depend on who's playing the best game, but I would definitely root on my girls. If one of them are there, if both of them are there, it would be a hard decision. So if both of them were there, I would go with who made the best decision, who made the best game, had the best gameplay. Obviously if there was one of them there, I would have voted for that girl. But also, again, depends on gameplay of other people. But I would probably root on my girls. We were there from the beginning together.
Thanks a lot, and it was so great to talk to you today. Have a great rest of your day.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.